everybody, my name is Carson. In this video, what I'm going to be teaching you is basic fire lighting skills. So, the three things that you need to make a fire are oxygen, ignition, we need our fuel. So our fuel is anything that we're going to end up burning. Our ignition is how we're going to light it. So we have a flint and steel here, we have some matches, and air is just in the air. So, there are three different groups of fuel, and our three different groups of fuel are called tinder. So this is going to include our smaller kind of stuff like birch bark and our smaller woods. And then we're going to go up to kindling, which is a little bit larger and probably should be a little bit longer as well. And then we go to fuel, which is our bigger logs. So here I have three things that I would use to start a fire. What we have here is dryer lint, this is birch bark, and this is kind of paper shreddings. Now what we need to do to prep these to light a fire is with dryer lint, you need to get a little bit more oxygen into it because it's kind of packed together. So you need to open it up and start pulling it apart and fluff it up like that. With birch bark, it has multiple layers, and what we need to do is we need to kind of separate it so we're getting one or two of those layers instead of maybe 4 or 5. So peel it apart, and now that is much lighter and kind of more like paper, whereas this is harder and will not light as easily. So this is basically a smaller version of a fire called a log cabin setup. So what you do is you're making a log cabin with your pieces of wood. So kind of start with 2 on the bottom, lay 2 on top, another 2, and then you're going to have all your stuff like your kind of tindery stuff in the middle. So that'll be your dryer lint, your birch bark, your paper, newspaper, whatever you choose to use kind of in the middle. So, because this is a demonstration, we're not going to have all the stuff to keep it going for a while, but if you are in the woods and you are making a fire, what you should do is you should have enough stuff to keep your fire going. So that means having your fuel, your tinder, and your kindling as well on the side, just in case you may need it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to strike our match. Place it in the center here. We don't want to overload our fire, but we do want to kind of build upon it a little bit. For safety reasons, what you should do by your fire is you should have a water bucket whenever you're starting a fire. And just a little reminder, when we're starting a fire, we need to keep our oxygen kind of flowing into the fire. So if we're overloading it like this and we're just putting a bunch of wood on, there's not much oxygen flowing into the fire and keeping it going. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new. So those are some basic fire lighting skills that you can use to start a fire.